Bruce Banner, Peter Parker, Danny Davis. What's his power? Apparently it's longevity. Hi, I'm Reese Waters, and I'm troubled. Thank you guys for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the page and like it on your way out. I'm here to discuss a serious issue affecting American politics, and that is old heads in Congress. Congress has become the world's most powerful retirement home. Nancy Pelosi is 83. Joe Biden is 80. Mitch McConnell was 81, and he's been freezing up in public like a laptop with a virus on it, which I know from experience. I know exactly what that looks like. And McConnell might have picked one up since I told him to be careful about clicking those random links. Hey, X and videos are not the same website, Mitch. I keep telling you that. Of course, we just lost Dianne Feinstein at the age of 90 recently. I was about to say sadly, but 90 is a long life. She had a really good run. If I make it to 90, hey, y'all better celebrate my life. That means I beat all the odds, especially with my eating habits and other habits I picked up. These are the 20 oldest members of Congress, just to put things into perspective. And before I get started, think of the oldest person that comes to mind for you working on our dime. I bet they're not even in the top 10. Now, Feinstein was the oldest member of Congress at the age of 90, but now she's in that Senate building in the sky. Next up would be Senator Chuck Grassley, who's 89 years of age. I'm pretty sure he arrived for his first day in Congress in a chariot. Representative Grace Napolitano is up next at 86 years old, but she's retiring, so I'll be nice to her. Apparently she got an advance copy of this video and did the right thing. Representative Bill Pascrell Jr. of New Jersey is also 86. But he's planning to stay, and apparently no amount of early bird specials at Golden Corral could change his mind. Delegate Eleanor Holmes Norton of DC is also 86, but I like her, so I'm gonna go easy on her. I'll just say I hope she's grooming a successor that's as awesome as she is. Then we have Representative Hal Rogers of Kentucky, who's 85 years old and serving, yes, his 22nd term. That's 2 twos. He's been serving terms almost as long as Colonel Sanders been serving chicken. And I'm gonna say soggy chicken at that. Team Popeyes over here, but I would also settle for Raising Cane's. Representative Maxine Waters is 85. Apparently she meant it when she said she was reclaiming her time. She's going to need all of it. Maryland Representative Steny Hoyer is 84, and that's my home state. My man's been in office since 1981. I might have voted for him as an infant. Plus, his name is Steny, which means he almost definitely knows how to fight. I mentioned Nancy Pelosi already, and she's number 9 on this list at 83 years old. Coming in at number 10, we have Representative Jim Clyburn of South Carolina, who's also 83, which brings me to Danny Davis of Illinois, who's 82. He's so old, he's from an era where parents gave their kids those Marvel Comics alliterative names in real life, like Bruce Banner, Peter Parker, Danny Davis. What's his power? Apparently it's longevity. And then you have Bernie Sanders, who comes in at the number 12 spot since he's 82 years old. Yes, 82 is good for 12. That's right. There are multiple members of Congress who can legitimately call Bernie Sanders a young man. At lucky number 13, we have Representative John Carter, who's 81. And doesn't John Carter just sound like somebody who came over on the Mayflower? Which legitimately this guy might have. I mentioned Mitch Freeze Frame McConnell already. He's 81 years old, but just good for 14th place. Let that sink in. Next up at 15, Representative Frederica Wilson, who's 80, and which also explains her penchant for wearing sparkly church hats. They won't even sell you one of those until you get past 65. And those hats come with a lifetime supply of butterscotch candy for your purse. Number 16, Representative Anna Eshoo of California, who's 80. I have no idea who she is, which means she's smart enough to stay out of the news and lay low until somebody like me realizes she's been there since 1993. Rounding out the 20 oldest members of Congress, Kay Granger, Rosa DeLauro, Jim Rich, and Virginia Fox, all of whom are also 80. A whole legislative caucus of people as old as Raleigh Forbes from Amen. And by the way, you gotta be pushing 40 just to get that last reference. Wait, does that make me too old for YouTube? You know what? I'm exhausted, and those are just the octogenarians. I haven't even gotten to Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner for the 2024 election, who's 77. Now, it might not be an issue for him since hateful curmudgeons seem to live forever. You don't believe me? Go visit a nursing home in the South and tell me I'm wrong. Strom Thurmond would still be in office if racist corpses could serve, and so would Bobby Byrd, actually, if they accepted formally racist corpses. Oh, and did I mention the president of the United States is 81 and running again? He turns 82 in November. That means he'll be 86 in office, the highest office in the land. Now, how is Congress supposed to represent all Americans if so many members are at an age where it's natural for there to be a cultural disconnect? Or even a disconnect as far as just being healthy enough or mentally capable of doing their jobs. I'm not being ageist when I ask that after seeing Mitch McConnell have what appeared to be a mini stroke live twice in the last year, only to be told that everything is fine. Now, ageism is in fact a thing as corporations try and phase out their more senior members to make way for younger and often cheaper replacements. But when it comes to lawmaking, we just go the other way? Now, the reason this happens is because running for office and being in office are two entirely different things. These geriatric incumbents are often people who cannot lose because they've been in office for so long, they have connections into every branch of their jurisdiction. They know where the bodies are buried and who to pay to remove those bodies if need be. They're the legislative version of being a made man in the mafia. But one very significant thing, that doesn't necessarily make them good at that particular job, just really, really hard to beat. Mitch McConnell couldn't beat Boo Boo the Fool if he had to run a regular campaign, hit the streets, give speeches, shake hands, kiss babies, and debate Boo Boo head to head. You think he's doing all that? Unfortunately, Mitch and others like him have enough name recognition and clout. They don't have to and haven't had to in some cases for decades. Now, how can we call ourselves the leaders of the free world with octogenarians in Congress or the White House? And once again, before y'all start calling me ageist, let me ask you this. What other job keeps rehiring 80-year-olds? I mean, that's pushing it for a Walmart greeter. These people refuse to retire because it's a plush gig that's very lucrative and even more powerful. It's like a drug that only a select few will ever have access to. These members of Congress are literally saying, you'll have to pry this from my cold, dead hands. You know, it's about time we had laws in place just to keep this from continuing to happen. You know what? I propose a constitutional amendment that requires any lawmaker over 75 to take an annual exam to see if they're in tune with the rest of the world. We know you know who Dean Martin is, but what about Sexy Red? I propose we call this amendment Too Old to Fail. If you have something you want me to look into or something that's troubling you, just throw it in the comments. You could email me at reese.waters@gmail.com or join me on my weekly Tuesday 2 p.m. live. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you get that notification.